Greetings from Cuyahoga Falls. My name is Jehovah. Welcome back to the channel. Been away for a few weeks, boys. Sorry about that. Life does get busy. And we're filing in, getting ready for the event. We're going to start on the Hagerstown Turnpike. You can see 56 Virginia, 3rd Alabama already here on the field. And the boys will start piling in. This is a classic skirmish map. And we are on one of the most famous parts of the battlefield. We are hovering now over the Miller's Cornfield, looking down the Hagerstown Turnpike. You see it there. If you keep going down that way, of course, in front of you, those are the West Woods. And beyond that, that's going to be where the Dunkard Church is going to be. Out front here, you're seeing what they call the epicenter. This is where Douglas's men, Lawton's division, was out that day. And then, of course, that is the famous Miller's Cornfield behind it. The Miller Barn, you can see the orchard there. This game just amazing on the historical accuracy. Gotta love it. Of course, I don't... Oh, yeah, there's the Miller House right there. You see the Miller House. There's the orchard. And funny, the fence in front of this orchard, there's a lot of talk and reports they had a hard time getting that fence down when they were coming out of the North Woods being back there. That's where Meade was posted up the night before the battle with two of his brigades. Seymour, his first brigade, actually was over here in the East Woods. He had Magleton and Anderson over here, Anderson on the left from our point of view and Magleton on the right. And of course you see that gap in the trees there. That's where Duryier's men came across first thing in the morning. And if you look over beyond the North Woods, you'll see the Poffenberger farm, which they put out here. And that actually should be back there. So, okay. But again, these maps aren't 100% accurate because they had to combine everything to keep the game running. But technically speaking, you would have the Poffenberger farm back over here north of the North Woods. And then over in this area is where you would have Nicodemus Heights. They put the farm here to keep it inside of the play field because Nicodemus Heights is right over here in the game. So very, very interesting. So Nicodemus Heights being over here, where in real life it would have been further back that way. And it's a little dark because it is early in the morning. Of course, it was much darker. Hey, Goose, welcome back. Hey, I missed you too, man. Glad to be here today. Hoping to get a lot more in. I just never can tell if you guys are bored with this or not. So the views on YouTube have dropped, but I think most of that is just because I stream. And most of you guys just watch the stream. And look, I'm not making any money on YouTube, so I'd much rather have you guys over on Twitch right now anyway. All the proceeds from the channel go back into the channel. I've already bought some good gear. Got the new computer rocking and rolling. Looking good. Oh, it reminds me I need to format this card. That way we can record the battle as well. Goose subscribed for 1 month at tier 1 last month. I appreciate you, buddy. We're trying to grow this thing. Of course, it doesn't help when I'm away 3 weeks in a row. Speaking of the 20th Georgia, there they are right there. You see Major Canada. There's Goose. Sup, Corporal? Private First Class Dead Man. That's a good name for a flag carrier. They die a lot. And if you're in the chat, make sure to throw your flags out for your favorite units. You always know when Dan Hagman's on the field, you can hear him. 56 Virginia, you can see the artillery. We're going to get some Yankee Jam and some Confederate jelly today. This map is rife with it, and I'll tell you, this area right here is where Stark's men came out of the woods and moved over to attack the Wisconsin men under Gibbon. They came through the cornfield. 2 of the regiments on the left side over here, actually back behind those trees down in a little gully. And then you had 2 of the regiments coming right out in the open. And Stark hit them on the flank right here in this area, and they turned toward the fence. So you had some of Phelps' regiments in there in his brigade, and you also had Gibbons, 2 of his regiments there as well. I think it was the 6th and the 2nd Wisconsin that were fighting in this area. Plus, you had the sharpshooters under Phelps, and they had Sharps rifles. So they were shooting a lot of rounds. I think some of those guys carried 150 rounds into the battle that day, they said. Used quite a few of them. And, of course, this whole attack by Gibbon would be pushed back by Hood, who would be called from the West Woods. And they would line up near the Smoketown Road, and they would come from this area straight across the epicenter into the cornfield in front of us and all the way to the other side. Pretty amazing. But they, too, were eventually pushed back. A lot to talk about when it comes to Antietam. 12-hour battle, 22,720 casualties. Amazing and gruesome day. And here are your Union, 8th Florida, 8th Alabama, wearing Yankee blue today. Got to be itchy in those blue uniforms. The New York Volunteers, 6th New York, are here as well. We got the 20th New York and the 22nd. That is your German Corps. And the Shenandoah Regulars as well. Or Shenandoah, or no, those are the Shepherd, or I'm sorry, the Serpent Brigade, are 51st New York. We know them very well. Let's go have a peek. I'm going to be following the Confederates for the most part today. Koto is also going to be streaming, so if you guys want to check him out, Kotow, he'll probably be over on Twitch as well. So make sure to check that out if you want to see a Yankee perspective. The clock is moving, but typically they like to reset the server, so I imagine we will be doing that shortly. You can see the 3rd Alabama. They've already got their bayonets out and are ready to give it to the Yankee invader. Well, that's a good shot, looking like Stark's men coming out. Of course, they were on the run, especially when they were running back to cover behind the woods. And that hill position right there, all the Union always want to get a cannon up there, and that is accurate. Union did have artillery up on this hill facing this way. As a matter of fact, when Hood's boys came in, part of the reason they got so torn up is because they had to turn and face the West Woods, because you had 2 regiments from Gibbon and 2 regiments from Patrick over here shooting from behind this, they call it a rock ledge, but Rich and I have been there, and it's more like a downward slope, but great cover. And they really tore these Louisianians up. And when the 18th Georgia and Hampton's Legion and those guys came in with Hood, they were shooting these cannoneers up right up here on this hill pretty badly. But the artillery held. They were shooting triple canister. A lot of it went over the heads of the men, but eventually they got smart and they pointed those barrels nearly at the ground. And you can just imagine, they described it as the game shows it, arms and legs and heads and fence posts flying up into the air. Just a gruesome, gruesome battle.
Who are we?
Hey, 7th Tennessee, Private Potato. Glad to see you there. 7th Tennessee, my unit, old unit as well. Of course, there are multiple companies. I was in Company E. There's the 8th Georgia, Colonel Knight. 8th Georgia under G.T. Anderson, not G.B. Anderson, who was killed in the Bloody Lane, but George Anderson was part of that counterattack in the West Woods that pushed the Union out of the West Woods and secured Lee's line. Hey, Accident, welcome back. Glad to have you. Subscribe, 7 months. Appreciate that, brother. Looking forward to watching this later? Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it right now. It's going to be fun. But thank you for coming back and watching. Let's go ahead and do an intro for the people that don't know. Greetings from Cuyahoga Falls. My name is Jehovah. Welcome to War of Rights. It's Saturday and we're hanging out with the UEC. Thank you again to everyone in the UEC for once again allowing me to watch these excellent events. Been away for a few weeks, but back today. Looking forward to the action. There are actually 2 streamers here. Hey, nice to be back. 20th New York. Appreciate it. David Muller. Thank you for being here as well. Anyway, what I was saying is Koto is going to be doing the streaming and focusing on the Union side. I'm going to be focused on the Confederate side. Uh-oh, we crashed. Oh, boy. That's not good. That's not good at all. All right, if I'm windowed, oh, I can. Look at this. Bango to boingo. I can log in and you guys can't see it. Hee hee ho ho ha ha. All right, we'll wait for it to come back up. Looks like it did. Oh, maybe I was the only one that crashed. Interesting. And you guys cannot see the password. You guys cannot see it. At least I hope not. I don't think you can. This windowed thing is kind of getting a little wonky here. Full window, you bastard. Full window. There we go. That's close enough. Appreciate you guys all being here and chatting with us in the chat. It's always a good time. And look at those men. Boy, that's a good shot right there. Now, the artillery for the Confederates, I don't believe ever got out this far. Now, Poe did have some guns up near this area. I would put them more back there where these guns are, maybe even further back. But you can see right there, that little hill there. Early in the morning, Penn and Grigsby had men back there this far out. And then, of course, Stark was back there in the woods. Grigsby gets wounded, possibly killed. I can't remember, at least wounded. And Stark takes over command of the brigade, and that's when he comes out. And I believe Jackson was with him when he came out here, and they just got chewed up. Stark himself was killed, trying to get his men rallied. See you later. Go get him, Goose. Have a great battle. See Lieutenant Fork back there. All the men on parade here, basically. Look at this. Looks great. So there's your 88th New York. The IVB in there with them as well. New York Volunteers, 88th. There's your 20th Georgia. Hard-hitting Georgia Regiment. Got 2 Georgia regiments on the field today. There's your 2nd Corps. That's the Shenandoah Regulars. There's Tall Grave right there in front. 4th New Jersey Devils. There's 8th Georgia. A lot of people on the field. This is just about a full server. 3rd Alabama. You know, they love the bayonet. Then, of course, the 51st or 56th Virginia. Dan Hagman out front. Cap Corporal John Bell Hood. And then, of course, we got the big guns. 56 going to have a gun today. Couple guns. Along with Virginia Battery A. Henry Perkins. So we'll see what the Union can do. The clock has started if they're going to go. And the men are on the move. So typically the Confederates will man the woods and get around the high side or in that area where Patrick's men were on that day historically, trying to get back there and put some heat on the Union, trying to get the guns up that hill. is going to be Colonel Knight, 8th Georgia. Got the 4th New Jersey Devils going with them. And they'll enter the woods.
That's right.
Or maybe not. He's just going to go down the fence line. They want that high ground. Obi-Wan Kenobi said it. It's the place to be. All right, so they're going to go in, but just a little further down. And we'll see how long it takes the Union gunners to get the big gun up the hill.
Is that Carson?
Hey, Hardy, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here, and you can see what Colonel Knight was looking for. Union out in the open. Who's going to be able to shoot first? Georgians already sending lead downfield, and you can see the Union coming back with a volley. They have support. 88th New York. The IVB are here. Well, it looks like just the 88th New York. And so early, the Union going to have some pressure on this hill. Oh, look at this. A full front. We got a lot of units over here. 3rd Alabama in the area. 56 is also here. So the Union are going to have a hard time taking this high ground early in the match, and that's what the Confederates wanted. Look at this. They've got a gun going and ready, though. 8th Florida. Those guys are deadly gunners. And it may be confusing to the casual viewer. We do have Confederate regiments playing in Union companies today. But these guys like to mix it up. You can't change a lot of the rules of the map, so they make sure to switch sides so that it's fair and even for everybody. And right now you can see Confederates pushing out a little bit from the woods, but the Union kind of holding behind the rocks. So if they can keep Union out there in the rocks, they're going to be doing good. Look at the fence posts and stuff flying up. Historically accurate. And Colonel Knight out here doing the dirty work himself with the pistol. And they turned that gun right at him. That is a 3-inch ordnance, and there are no cannoneers left. This guy's running away with the shell. Oh, didn't get far. So Colonel Knight emptying his pistol with great effect, silencing the guns of the Confederates thus far. We have Union coming up the hill. That is the German Corps. And the Confederates already sending fire up the hill. You can just hear how calm the boys are. And how beautiful a shot is that through the smoke. I tell you, that's one thing, because you have to be able to play. Hey, greetings, Flagger 93. Impling, good to see you. Damn it. Can you hear me?
He's ready.
Hey, hey, can you hear me? Hey, 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 can you hear me? Somebody say, hey, hey, can you hear me? Yeah. Hey, hey, can you hear me?
On a left oblique.
If you're in the chat and you want to say that you can hear me, I'd appreciate that. And if you can't, I really don't know why. My speakers are playing. Maybe. No, it's on mix. Oh, yeah, you can hear me. Good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. And we got the bayonet going. As the 88th are here. Sorry I missed the action. Impling said he couldn't hear me, so I wanted to make sure it wasn't on my end.
Oh, they're right there. They're right there on the
Oh, they're right there, all right. You heard the order. Get ready to prime this bitch. Well, I'm telling you, you're not going to live long with that artillery piece right there. And the Union making a push in the middle. Here we go. Trying to be disruptive to those Confederates. 51st New York. Large and in charge, as they always are. And they are dressed up like the 14th Brooklyn. That's part of Phelps' brigade. Not a lot of men that day. I believe Phelps got chewed up pretty bad at South Mountain. And the Confederates are firing at them from the woods with cover. Union has none. But those gunners of the 51st New York, they are deadly. And look, the 3rd Alabama don't even appear to be looking that way. Oh, they are, shooting low. And the 51st going to get out of there. So far, so good for the Confederates, being able to hold them back. Oh, we got Union pushing now toward the point of contention. They want to take it away. Alabama, German Legion, 8th Florida. Mostly Alabama, German Legion. 52nd New York is here as well. There's Impling as we speak. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. And you see 20th Georgia and the boys, part of the 2nd Corps. They're just sitting back here, guarding the guns. Trying to put some pressure on these Union who have pushed way into their territory. All right, more Confederate movement in the open field. 56th Virginia. So a pretty good spot for the Union here. Confederates are going to use the caissons and the guns for some cover, but the Union has better cover. Can the Confederates get those guns shot off in time to show some Yankee jam, and will the fence protect them? Ooh, you can see, looks like some canister. A couple guys went down. That is the only bad thing about being in this area. Ooh, more shots coming through. Frank coming back to collect what's left of his men. Reinforcements coming in as well. And the Confederates starting to try to push out of the woods a bit, maybe. But we got Union coming right up in their face, and they are coming down the hill. You can see that's 8th Florida on the right flank. These are deadly shooters. Well, you heard the fallback command. Oh, flag goes down, so the Floridians getting chewed up a little bit here as the Confederates smartly jump back behind the 2nd fence. 3rd Alabama, 8th Georgia. Doing their jobs well, forcing the Union back from their forward position. See now, speaking of forward position, 51st New York has found another one with a little bit more cover. Now they're further away. Gives the Confederates more of a chance to shoot into the ground. And what I was saying earlier is you have to be able to see the game. In real life, they talked about the smoke being so thick you couldn't even see through it. And a lot of times they would look under the smoke and only see the legs of the men moving forward. You really couldn't tell who was who then. Flags would come out of the smoke, and so they would identify them that way as well. As a matter of fact, there's a story about the Union, I think it was Anderson or Magleton's men, when they're laying down at the edge of the cornfield, waiting for the Texas guys to come through, and they think that they're the retreating guys from Wisconsin until they can see the flag through the smoke, and then they open fire. And they were 60 yards away, very, very close. All right, 51st getting in a different spot here, a different position. And there you have it. Counterattack in effect. The Union has done it. They've taken away the point of contention, and this is going to force the Confederates to come over and take it back. Alabama German Legion, along with some guys from the 52nd New York. So that is the first counterattack, and we will wait. You can see the Confederates have created like a bowl around the Union. That's how you attacked back in the Civil War. Stretch out your lines, wrap around the flanks, find the weak spot, push them off. Artillery shooting a bit high now. And we have movement. Here come Confederates. That's going to be 20th Georgia. Tough spot, but they do have artillery support. Yeah, they know they're going to get a lot of them knocked down. You can see them. And they're dressed up like Louisiana guys today. Of course, the Louisiana regiments were the ones that died here on this field. And the Georgians need that artillery support now because they are getting hard pressed. All right, they're falling back. Not able to bring enough men to the point of contention. They do have flanking fire there as well. And you hear the huzzah. Confederates are now engaged. Union's not far behind them. 18 minutes left on the counter clock. And you can see now Confederates starting to come out of the woods. And they're going to be forced in the open. Ooh, there's some of that Yankee jam. Actually protected by the fence there, so it appears. And there's the fall back command. You heard it. And now the Confederates will be able to get back to that point of contention if they press up just a little bit. See Jumbo trying to collect more men from the reinforcement pool. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. I really am. You see the guns, there they go. And now the Union, it's all tied up. Union have a slight advantage here, especially considering the Confederates are on the attack and have more tickets. That's a 3-inch ordnance right there. The models in this game are absolutely beautiful. And of course, two 12-pound Napoleons. That might be a Napoleon. This might be a 6-inch field gun. Although I would imagine the barrel would be shorter, or it could just be a Napoleon without the bell. They were made both ways, I believe. And you can see a steady fire coming in from those rocks. And we're getting the point of contention is bleeding away. So the Confederates really don't have to press too hard as long as the Union doesn't come up, but they will. Just trust me, they will. They are going to want to take that spot back. You can see there's so little concern. The 8th Georgia all the way again on the flank, trying to keep that gun silenced and doing a great job. Hey, look, Polyhaw's here today. That's a dangerous spot, Polyhaw. Time to split. And they're using the rock for protection. Georgia not paying attention to them. We've got Confederates pressing right up the hill. 4th New Jersey. Just a little peekaboo action. Little sneaky poo. And the Union have more than one gun. And here's that second one, and this is the one they're using. 3-inch ordnance. Pointing right near the point of contention. You can see more Union at the point. They've come out of the rocks. 52nd New York. They're going to go right into the guns of the Confederates, and Jumbo does not have a lot of guys here to protect it. A lot of guys still going to have to come in. Looks like Tall Gray bringing some guys up. And the Confederates are having an effect. They're definitely knocking the 52nd down. They're down to 2 men now. And there they go. But they still have the point of contention and only 15 minutes left on the counter clock. Union, I told you they'd be back. They love this road. Alabama, German Legion. Are we going to see some Yankee jam? They are absolutely hugging that fence line, and they are smart to do it. Oh, we got more mixing it up here. It's the Union, 8th Florida coming in with the bayonet. They're tired of this shit. But they got a fence between them and victory. And a lot of Confederates are still here. Ooh, point blank, brutal fire. They're coming over the fence. Major Venom, 51st New York is here. And they're gonna finish off what the Floridians started. 88th New York going down. So well done by Venom in the 51st, and that of course was started by the 8th Florida. So very entertaining battle so far. Confederates really still not showing a lot of strength at the point of contention. This may, of course, just be part of their plan. You're talking about serious veterans playing this game. Guys have been playing for over half a decade. And they want that point back. They're going to put themselves in danger to get it. And you can see the blue line is starting to bleed away. Jumbo in the 20th Georgia. Can they stand? Very close to historically accurate right here. You can hear how calm Jumbo is. It provides stability for the men. Because you hear a lot of guys getting in there yelling and screaming, and that's fun. Ooh, nice shot. Flag goes down. That's fun. I mean, it definitely has its place. But when the chips are down and you need your guys to not panic, because they'll panic in game. It's so weird, but it's true. I've seen it happen. The line loses cohesion. And they are eating the goober peas, sending a lot of lead downrange. Boy, and that Union fire is accurate and deadly, knocking men out of the ranks. But the guns of the 20th Georgia are no joke. They'll hit you. So the Union, no doubt, having a hard time there as well. You can see more shadows appearing. Ooh. And that is what is bringing that clock back around. Confederates, not enough men here to hold it. You see Corporal Goose there. Standing tall, standing proud. We march like gentlemen, we die like men. That's what Captain Carroll always says. See Jumbo looking for some help. Last stand. He's making a stand all right. You can see also historically accurate. Lots of bodies there. Ooh. Fence post going up in the air. They're going to get that artillery dialed in, and when they do, it's going to be no bueno for the Union. And you can see they're hugging that fence as hard as they can, trying for some cover. And now they're going to get more reinforcements. You see them coming through the smoke. They saw it too. You heard the order. Shoot them down. Well, and you know I said not as accurate with the smoke, but this is damn close to accurate. Look at, you can barely see anything. Large blast, just a little over the head. As you can see, Confederates have taken the point of contention back. Jumbo, 20th Georgia, and the rest of the Confederates have done it. They've secured the point of contention. We're back to the game clock. 29 minutes left. Both sides engaged. Union still showing a slight advantage, but the Confederates are really coming back. You can see that blue line starting to bleed away. really fast on the Union side. So right now I'd put the Confederates up front with 28 minutes left. And the Georgians very happy with themselves, as they should be, along with the help they had. 3rd Alabama and the 88th New York, all pouring fire into the Union's flank, along with the 56th Virginia. And the Confederates have done a good job. Colonel Knight and the guys back here have been trying to keep this hill away from the Union, and for the most part, they have done just that. Now, their presence is not here at the moment, but they're going to be coming back. Or are they? New Jersey guys. 8th Georgia guys. They're kind of all at the edge of the fence. I'm not sure what they're waiting on. Maybe getting their reinforcements. And this is exactly what it looked like that morning, because you had units coming down this side of the pike, you had units coming down that side of the pike, from the point of view our back forward, like we're the Union point of view here. And it was bloody. And that's when, of course, when they got to about this area is whenever the Wisconsin had to swing around, because the Tigers came out to attack them. So the Confederates now, they know they've got the lead. They're bleeding the Union dry, so they don't have to advance and attack. They'll just kind of post a perimeter. And you can see, speaking of, they're coming back to the Confederate left. That's 3rd Alabama. And 2nd Corps as well. 10th Louisiana here. I don't know what LFL is. I'll have to ask the guys. And so the Confederates now, remember what I said about not having to be aggressive? Well, that's just not in their nature. Here they are, 3rd Alabama. Lieutenant Parker standing here watching the Confederates go right into the side of his men. Point blank, no warning. 3rd Alabama with the bayonet. You can see Williamson getting shot. 8th Florida's here. Captain Fritz. Can't even see him through the smoke. Doing it with the sword. And he's dead. But that is what needed. That's what was needed to push the Union into taking losses. So a very aggressive play. You see Mr. Hogg there. Welcome, sir. Hope everything is good in Spain. And the 2nd Corps doing some peekaboo stuff. And the Union now starting to put some men on this hill. We got more Confederates coming in. 8th Georgia came up to clean up the mess, and they're right up front. So good play here. Colonel Knight, heads up play. He saw that they had some success on the field. They were getting overrun, came in and mopped it up, and now they have control over this portion of the field. With the 2nd Corps doing their peekaboo stuff on the other side, it's going to draw the Union into a flanked position no matter which way they go. But you know who this is. 51st New York with the bayonet. They're going to wipe out these pesky Confederates, or at least they're going to try. And Georgia didn't see them until right now. Here they are. And when you don't see them coming until they're right on top of you, it makes a difference. And of course, when the 51st New York is in the picture, it makes it twice as hard. So many excellent units in the UEC. 20th Georgia, one of them as well. And Jumbo has secured the point of contention area, and now he's focused his attention over on those rocks. And we have Confederates right there at the tree. 56th. Don't see Slaughter today. And the Confederates getting wiped but we still have some elements of the Second Corps here. They do not want them shooting that gun, and they keep running that artillery off by doing that. And typically in the UEC, that won't last long. The Union will hold their fire until they see them come up and just murk them before they can fire. Boy, a lot of Union right here. And they're going to try to conceal their movements as long as they can. And with the Georgia being wiped, it's going to be hard to put any kind of pressure on this Union if they attack now. See the 4th Jersey back here. I love the marching. Look how beautiful this is. March like gentlemen, die like men. And a deadly Confederate fire. Some of those shots going high, many of them hitting their mark. Man, what a beautiful shot this is. We'll just hold that for a minute. Well, it didn't last long. They tried, but there's got another company coming up right behind them. Oh, a deadly volley from the Confederates. And the 8th Florida felt that one for sure. You can see them knocking them out of the ranks. That's awesome. That was enough damage from both sides. They both left the area. Gotta love it. And the Union's still massing on the hill. They've been trying to take this thing all day. They've got it right now. 8th Georgia gonna come up on the front side. Again, these guys are so good at trying to conceal their movements. Colonel Knight gonna do some reconnaissance. And right now the Confederates in control of the field, in control of the game. You can see the Union, almost halfway down on taking losses. 21 minutes left in the match. So everybody's gonna be playing it safe right now. They don't want to just sacrifice a lot of tickets. Confederates slowly pushing up, though. You can see all those units kind of there in a line. And always the Union in those rocks on the flank. It's always a threat. And 51st is going to march out to battle once again. Ooh, Venom going down in the first volley. That was common in the Civil War as well. Many of these regiments were down to captains as their generals and were shot up. Colonels, all dead, mortally wounded, taken off the field. See the 8th Georgia delivering some fire. We also have from the 56. Oh, we got Union movement coming toward the point of contention. They want to get it back again. And the 56 is a small unit right now. With a large Union force coming this way, they skedaddled. The Union, of course, wanting to take out these Confederates, but they hit the wrong bush. 8th Florida. Do they even know the Georgia are there? So the Georgia moved out and exposed their backs to the 8th Florida. This is not going to be good. Well, they were able to get far enough away, and you can see the Confederates now. They got a lot of Union in front of them. Do they know that they are here? Oh, a volley before they knew they were here. And the 8th Georgia is still on the top of the hill. 51st 51st never even knew they were there. Looks like German Corps is going to come around on their flank. 8th Georgia in a lot of danger right here. It's only a matter of time.
I'm gonna fire.
I heard him call fire, so I fired.
Not a lot of fire coming in this direction. Surprises me. We do have fire back here on the hill. They're mixing it up. And you can tell by the voices, that's the 8th Florida. Deadly with the bayonet, but they are in danger of being flanked here. Oh, a devastating fire by the Confederates. And another counterattack. The Union sneaking in, taking the point of contention, but here come the 3rd Alabama. And more Union streaming down the hill. These guys in blue, they want to win this thing. The Confederates just sweeping over the land, killing everything in their path. They've got to get back to the point of contention. 6:30 on the counter clock. 52nd New York here, Alabama German Legion. Hugging the fence, using the tree as cover. You see that's got to be Jumbo and the guys coming back to their earlier position. It is indeed. Can the Georgia do it again? They know they got to get up close enough to the point to start taking it away, and that's what they've done now. But they are exposed. Jumbo smartly not running in front of his men. There were officers that got killed that day doing just that as well. And we experience all these things in the game, but I just like to bring it back to the historical accuracy. And you can see the Confederates are doing it, man. Jumbo, these guys, they know exactly how to get it done. They've got help on their left.
Hold your fire.
But that fence is protecting their right flank. Oh, can't protect it from that. The hill has been taken by the Union, and those are deadly consequences. You see the artillery coming in, giving us some Confederate jelly there. I've been reading Scott Hartwig's book, so a lot of these facts are coming from him. Full credit, and you can see the Confederates have done it again. The Union now almost breaking. With less than 18 minutes left, the Confederates have taken a pretty dominant lead here in this match. You can see they still have half of taking losses. Morale high on the Confederate side, and it should be. They've been pushing the Union away. Looks like 56 Virginia's come back to this spot as well. And the Union now backing up to the hill, but they do have artillery. Can the Confederates come out and silence those guns once again? And we have Union trying to force the issue. '51st New York. Always in the hottest spots. And they want to put pressure back on the Confederates so they can take that away. But man, they're about to go to breaking. Here, Ulti. You can see as Jumbo's men move away. Oh, they were taking it away. It might just be decay, though. Confederates holding a good line here, and they're pressing up in that middle. Here they go, back up the hill one more time. 3rd Alabama. Large and in charge are the Alabama. Woo, and there it is with a volley. You go to breaking. That's how deadly accurate these guys are. What an unbelievable shot here. Oh, and the Union coming in. They're not having any of it. The Black Hats, and that's the Iron Brigade, newly dubbed Iron Brigade. These are Gibbons boys. In this case, it's the New Yorkers. Confederates coming up, but also getting chased by the Union. Alabama, German Legion, after the 8th Georgia. Greenberg doing it with a pistol. And Confederates getting shot down as they flee. Flag bearer gonna make it? He did. Over the fence. And it goes back and forth as it did that day, September 17th, 1862. This is the Maryland campaign, the Battle of Antietam. 12 hours of battle, 5:30 in the morning till roughly 6 at night. And 22,720 casualties. It's pretty intense. And of course, this is as close to reenacting as you can get playing War of Rights. These are real people around the world. This is the European community, the United European community, I might say. And so we have all kinds of different countries here today, which, you know, is humbling as an American because this is our conflict, but all these guys really are into it. They like to learn about it. They love to play this game. And you got to remember, there are a lot of Germans that fought in the American Civil War. As a matter of fact, a lot of racist Americans that didn't like having Germans in their groups. Howard, for example, pretty much had mostly immigrants in his corps, the 11th Corps, I believe it was, at Chancellorsville, and they got hooked by Jackson when he came out of the woods, and so they were all like, oh, it's because they were Germans. Like, no, it's because Howard got reports that they were there and did nothing about it. Because they marched right past Dan Sickles, and he told them, hey, you got Confederates coming around, and he didn't do anything about it. So 4th Jersey here, coming right after the gun, up close and personal. Hutton trying to do it with the little knife, but got killed. And now we have Union trying to answer for that. Of course, not a lot of Jersey left. And you can just see those flags streaming across the field. The Stars lead the way. And you see them. Here they go. 51st New York. Had enough of this flanking shit. And you can hear them hiss. Not sure how far the Union can go. Oh, that poor bastard. So, Union trying to do something a little aggressive here. They are breaking, going in danger of losing this match. 12 minutes left. They've got a forward party, Alabama German Legion. They want to get on that point of contention, or close enough to it to take it away from the Confederates. They're just not there yet, but they don't want to expose themselves to the enemy fire. Here we go. We got support coming up. It's the New Yorkers. 6th New York Volunteers. And they are taking that point of contention away from the Confederates. I'm going to predict the future here and say Jumbo and the 20th Georgia are going to go over to that fence line. Well, you hear the huzzah. The Confederates are breaking. This is their chance to do it right now. If they can get that point of contention all the way around, they're going to win the match right here and now. Can they do it? 11 minutes, a brilliant timing move by the Union. This could be the whole thing. I don't think the Georgians are going to be able to stop them, and they got help from the rocks. Look at the Union pouring in, but the Confederates coming right after the Union at the point of contention. This is when it's all or nothing. 11 minutes left. And you can see the Confederates are doing it. They're pushing them back. Wow, that was close, man. The Union almost took it all away. What an inopportune time for the Confederates to go to breaking right as the Union was capturing the point. But an incredible comeback here by the Confederates. They didn't want to throw it all away. And here we go. 3rd Alabama coming in from the backside with the bayonet. And it was glorious while it lasted for the Union. Oh, they're still here. They're still here. The 51st must have come in. 20th New York is here. The German Corps, 51st New York. It's pretty much everybody. They want to take it. They want to take it now. They know this is their best shot. But also, what a great opportunity for some Yankee jam. And you can hear the big guns going off. Confederates, though, not having it. They are taking the point of contention back by all means necessary. Hans Peter with the flag. Ooh, there's some Confederate jelly. Yankees also using the big gun. Ten minutes left. Confederates about to take it all back here. But they've got to kill these Union or they can't leave the area, and they're very exposed. But you can see the muskets of the Confederates deadly and taking a heavy toll on the Union in the road. If they ever get that artillery dialed in, it's going to be real trouble. You heard LT? The situation is looking dire. You're not wrong, buddy. There's a lot of Confederates out here. And they want to kill you. Ooh, more artillery pouring in. Blow those Yanks to hell. You heard the order. 8th Georgia with the 20th Georgia. Stand your ground. And it's working. Look, the Union pulling out of that spot. Too much pressure when the whole state of Georgia comes down on you. Wow. I had tapped the Confederates out, man. It was 2 slaps on the mat. This thing was going to be over. Union was going to capture the point, but Confederates said no to that. A huge force, unafraid of casualties, going straight in and just pushing the Union off. But here they come again. You can see the American flag streaming across the field through the smoke. And more Confederates pouring into the area. They want to keep it for 8 minutes. You kill enough of these Yankees and it's going to go to final push or last stand. Wow, what a beautiful shot. Look at all those players. And we're talking historically accurate. This is where some of Stark's or Jackson's men would have been. That is where, ooh, another large explosion. That is where Gibbon's boys would have been, along with some of Phelps's men. Oh, more Confederate jelly. The Union really lighten up this line of exposed men, but they are not wavering one bit. 7 minutes left in the match. You can see the blue and the red line bleeding away almost evenly. These guys are beating the hell out of each other. It's like a heavyweight match, and they're just slugging out haymakers. Through the smoke, it's hard to see. Not a lot of Union in the road. They're on the fence line, and they are starting to take a toll on these Confederates. You can see that line starting to thin out. So deadly fire coming in from the Union, making it count. The German Corps, the 8th Florida. Oh yeah, deadly fire indeed. They've got cover in the trees as well. You can see gaps in that Georgia line. Oh! Massive explosion and the whole line goes down. Wow, a few of them are getting back up, but just in time for the Union to come back and hit them in the flank. It's the 6th New York. And they're clearing it out. Great play by the Union. They can do it now. They know they have to. 6.5 minutes. Can they put enough men on the point of contention to win this game? Back and forth it goes, and the Union now have the advantage. Can they hold it? Lots of Confederates coming back to the line. Oh my God! Oh! Holy shit! That whole group went in and got murked. Wow. And artillery is making an impression. The Confederates now, last stand. The Union, the blue line is coming around. 5 minutes left. Can they do it? Can they take the win right now? The Confederates are going to give them everything they got. And right now, that consists of the 8th Georgia coming back into line right up in front, attacking the Union point blank with the bayonet. But a little scattered out, and there's a lot of Union here. Final push. 2 minutes left. Will the Confederates run out of men? This is it. They're going to take the whole thing right here. Can the Confederates pour into the spot? You see all the Confederates. Maybe they can get it to overtime. Will there be enough here to do it? 150 left? No! It's over! A Union victory. Wow! An incredible comeback for the Union. Amazing. You guys saw it. The Confederates had them down on the ground begging for mercy. And the Confederates just couldn't get it done. The Union coming back with an amazing win. Congratulations to the USA.
Following their successful push southward from the cornfield, Union forces looked to secure Hagerstown Turnpike as well, while they continued towards Dunkirk Church. Facing them were 2 Confederate brigades under Generals Stark and Taliaferro, the former of which included the fierce Louisiana Tigers. The Union's Iron Brigade would bash against their savage defense before the rebels were forced to retreat back to the West Woods to their southwest.
Well, what do you guys think? Tell me in the chat. I know a lot of the guys that are viewing now are actually playing.
However, unbeknownst to the Federal troops, even more Confederate forces were waiting under the shadowed boughs of the West Woods. The hungry and tired Texans, Georgians, and South Carolinians of Wolford's brigade, who had set up some breakfast fires in the hope of a quick meal before battle, were instead roused by the orders of their officers back into their battle lines. Soon, they would march northward to the sounds of gunfire and screaming carnage on the other side of the chilly, shaded tree line, back towards a lonely cornfield that still had more death in store for its tilled ground.
Indeed it did. Ripley went in, Colquitt went in. Man, those guys got chewed up. I'm going to say it now. Artillery, Union artillery was key to that win. I'm going to give them the VIP for that because that last charge when the Confederates were coming in and that one whole group of Confederates got destroyed by that one direct shot, amazing. Absolutely amazing. And they'll reset the map because we're not doing Miller's Cornfield. We're going to Smokestacks. Thank you all for being here. Make sure to put the flags up in the chat. It's free. All right. Thank you all for being here. If you need to take a pee-pee break, now would be the time. And we'll go into the second match. Greetings from Cuyahoga Falls. My name is Jehovah. Welcome back to War of Rights. It is the UEC on Saturday, and we are in the second match. And we're going to be doing Smokestacks. Union with an incredible victory on the first map. If you didn't get a chance to see that, go back and watch it. I would call it an upset. The Confederates had that thing won and let it slip through their fingers with just incredible play by the Union and the artillery, man. On point. That was an awesome match. You're right about that, David.
Yup.
So,
Yup.
man, I guess this one is this Conquest where you have to get all three? I think I like the other one. The Contention is, I think is what it's called, where it changes every 15 minutes. That's my favorite, but that's because also I'm filming, so it makes it easier when everybody's in one spot. I'm sure it's not as fun for the players. All right. Greetings from Cuyahoga Falls. My name is Jehovah. Welcome back to War of Rights. This is the UEC. Thank you to everybody in the UEC for once again allowing me to watch these excellent events. This is the second match of the weekend. It's the smokestacks. Nope, farmland. And you can see 3 points of contention on the field. One out there at the Hagerstown Turnpike, one at the Dunker Church, one here in Miller's Cornfield. And the boys will be fighting over these 3 points of contention today. Let's do a little history while we got you here. And on this large map, we can see a lot more than normal. Get back down just a tad. All right in front of you, that is the Dunker Church. It sets on the Hagerstown Turnpike. The Visitor Center today sets right out there. And the Maryland Monument is right out there. Those are your West Woods. That is your Hagerstown Turnpike that we're looking at. If we go up north, Hagerstown Turnpike, you will see the Miller Farm back there and orchard. That is the famous Miller Cornfield. Beyond it, you'll see the plowed field as well as the North Woods. Now, Poffenberger's farm, which they put out there, is actually back there behind the North Woods. This is the East Woods. The Union had men in the East Woods. 1st Brigade of the 3rd Division, 1st Corps, George Meade's men. And right below us here at what is known as the epicenter, this is where the Georgians would have been. No guns in this area at that point of the battle. They had brought a couple guns up in support over in this area, but they were kind of facing the East Woods, and they didn't last very long. They got out of there pretty quick. Union would secure this hill, and Patrick's men, along with a couple of regiments from Gibbons, were back here firing into the backs of the Confederates as they came out of these West Woods and onto the turnpike, trying to flank the other 2 regiments of Gibbon, 2nd Wisconsin, 6th Wisconsin, along with Phelps' brigade, who was pretty chewed up, but they did have the sharpshooters with them. So we'll see if they're going to start the match at the 40 mark. You can see we already have Union up here on these guns. Now this is historically accurate. Union did have guns up here, and the Confederates were trying to kill them. I wanted to say that's Campbell, but I can't remember if that's true. Let me find out. Yeah, it is Campbell. So Campbell had some guns up here, and the Confederates wanted to silence those, and that's why the Georgians attacked the way they did. Of course, those guns would have been a little bit further back, and maybe that hill should be a little bit further back as well, because I wanted to say they were in the cornfield, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe they were already out here when that happened. I think they actually were, but I think see, it's confusing to me because I wanted to say that the 18th Georgia didn't hit the fence until they were in the corn, but I could be wrong on that too. Doesn't matter. They were along this pike right here. And since Koto is streaming as well, he's focused more on the Union. I'm focused more on the Confederates. So we're going to go into their camp and watch them march out to battle. You see they got Texas regiments here. That is the Texas flag. There was some confusion. I talked about it earlier in the first event where as the Confederates under Hood went through the cornfield and ran into Meade's men laying down behind the fence of the cornfield, they thought it was the United States flag coming through the smoke, but it was actually the Texas flag. They realized pretty quickly that it was the Texas flag and opened fire, and I think they got within 60 yards of them, though. So the Confederates got to be stinging from that upset in the last match. They'll want to get some revenge here.
I like it.
Because it's seas in the cornfield, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can
Yeah,
take
we'll
C
back.
and then go left and go through the forest and go to B.
Copy that.
Yeah,
I like it.
and one unit must take A and hold the gap between A and B.
The rest of us will go see.
We'll go A
Copy that.
and we'll just go in the forest. Like, west
Copy
of
that.
us.
Majority will shift straight directly towards C.
Okay, we need
And then we'll move around to B.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. We need
All right, let's go. They're getting ready to move it out. You see the Muma farm on fire in the background.
double quick.
And you can see the units splitting up. And they're headed toward the cornfield. Now, this is the path that Colquitt's men would have taken. They were stationed down near the Bloody Lane, and Jackson needed reinforcements, so he called on D.H. Hill to send them. And he sent Ripley, he sent Colquitt, among others. And they would have come right across this area. Man, I love how historically accurate this game is. It's amazing. They are under Union fire. And man, those artillery pieces, we know how accurate they are. They really made a difference in the last match. See, we got two groups of Confederates here. Running the gauntlet. But you see, the guys are just in double quick. They're not panicked. Using the hill to secure their movements. Love it. It's hard to get a gun turned around that fast. You see them just running right by him. On their way to the corn. Oh, those are Confederate guns anyway. I'm a dummy. I doubt those guns will shoot at these guys since they're on the same team. All right, the hard part about this battle, of course, is the fact that there's so much ground to cover. A is secured by the Confederates. The Dunker Church, historically accurate. Of course, the Union would come through and take this area for a short while during the battle. And the Union trying now to secure C and B simultaneously. A lot of Confederates going into the cornfield. Looks like that's their overall goal. And you can see we've got some skirmishers out here, little groups, to draw the attention away. But the main force is headed over toward the corn. Let's go over there and visit with the Union. And see if they realize this attack is coming. They're taking up the pole right now as we speak. Alabama German Legion. But they've got a whole mess of Confederates coming this direction. They're expecting them, but will they see them coming? Here they are. There's a lot more Confederates where that came from. Looks like they survived the first wave, but here comes the second. 8th Georgia. And Confederates kind of made that look easy. We got more Union here slamming into the Confederates, but they don't know what's coming behind them. A lot more Confederate. A lot more of a Confederate presence here.
Flag down.
And they're doing it. They've neutralized C. They're going to try to take that away and give it back to their team now. So they'll have 2 points of contention. The way this works, if you're new to it, the more points of contention you have, the faster the enemy morale drops. And that's basically what ends this game early before the clock ends, is you go to breaking and then you lose. So 35 minutes into the match, the Confederates have already secured 2 points of contention without much Yankee resistance, and now they'll go for point of contention B. Of course, the Union will try to come back and take these spots at the same time, and I'll try to cover as much of it as I can. Right now, staying with the largest of the Confederate force, as you can see, we have another one going across the Hagerstown Turnpike. And Confederates leaving a substantial force behind to guard. And it looks like they're making a push for the Dunker Church. You can see a lot of American flags in that direction. Second Corps holding that spot. 88th New York in support.
Dress right, guys. Once you're loaded, dress right. Company B's front rank, Company A rear rank.
Whack. No, whack. What we got? What we got? What we got?
All right, dress. Come on, step. Keep dressing right, guys. Keep dressing right. If there's a gap to your right, do not fall out of your ring.
Check some reload.
Check.
So you can see the Confederates kind of stalling out that Union attempt here. And we've got some battling way back here away from the points of contention as the Union coming from their spawn have run into the Confederates. 3rd Alabama, but they're about to be flanked, and flanked hard. Here come the Union, 52nd New York, and the Alabama never saw them. Came around the haystacks, popped up like a phantom in the dark. And the advanced unit of the Confederates going down. Lucky if they get their flag out of here. He's got to hop 2 fences. Going through the gap. And safely into the corn. Well done. Confederates are making a push. Trying to get in close to point of contention B. Union with 2 large companies. The German Corps is here, along with the 6th New York. I love that you hear him calling out the hits. 20th Georgia. Knew who it was before I hit the button, but I wanted you guys to see it. Doing some damage to that Union line. It looks like they are pulling back. So well done once again by the Georgia. And you can see that blue line is bleeding away hard on the Union. Holding 2 points of contention is a big deal in this game, especially in this kind of game play. You can see there's nobody. The Confederates are really, this is a smart way to do this, to block the Union from coming from their spawn to point of contention C. And you can see 8th Georgia going to be the up front guinea pig in this one. But yeah, I like this tactic. That's going to make it really hard for the Union, A, to get reinforcements anywhere on the field, but B, to attack point of contention C, which is really, really important tactically. And you can see the Confederates in the trees as the Union coming back to support the guns, but they're going to get shot down. And Corporal Houston has a pistol, but the 2nd Corps has got a lot more guns in those trees. Oh, Confederates are there. They've penetrated and gone straight for point of contention B. Didn't see it happen. Sorry about that. It's the 20th Georgia. We were with them. They departed and went straight for the point of contention, and they are taking down the Yankee flag. Boy, they're going to get a counterattack started here if they can get all 3 points of contention. And these Confederates are really showing some muscle early in this one. They did last match as well. The Union came back with a surprise victory. Confederates really trying to put that behind them with this win here. And they're about to have all 3 points of contention and a counterattack in effect. They are exposed in this open field. There it is, counterattack. 3 minutes left in the match, unless the Union can take one of these points of contention. Now will the Confederates pour in and hold? Or, oh, nope, look at this. Union taking point of contention A. So much going on, too much to see at one time. That's a large unit. 8th Florida, 18th North Carolina there as well. You see Lamel Todd. And they've got Confederates coming up the Smoketown Road. But there are a lot of Union here, and they know how to shoot. So the Union now not allowing the Confederates to keep that counterattack very long. Well, they haven't got the flag up yet. I spoke too soon. 2 minutes left. They got to get that flag up that pole. And there it is. Counterattack is gone. 28 minutes left in the match. Well done by the Union. Quickly answering that Confederate threat. And they are also on point of contention C. Man, it is hard to keep your eyes on everything. So the Union able to sneak around those Confederates, that advanced force. And they neutralized it. They weren't even trying to take it. They didn't have a flag with them. Just figured since they were in the area, Captain Frank said, we'll take that. Even the score. But you can see the Confederates with a slight advantage. And point of contention A secured in the Union grasp. And also neutralizing point of contention B. Well done. One man here. Oh, it was Weber. Weber went out and did it himself. And the Confederates will have to get that back. They went from having all the points of contention to having none of them. So you can see how this thing just bounces back and forth constantly. So the Confederates now do have a point of contention back, and they're in the process of getting C back as well. But the Union are making a push in that direction. The forward party is not very big, only 3 guys from the 4th Jersey. It's going to be overrun very quickly. And the Confederates now with, oh, a direct hit! Wow! What a shot, man. This Union artillery is really on today. Of course, the 51st New York. Some of the most deadly cannoneers in the game. And that point of contention flagpole, man, that is not a place you want to be standing. Union trying to come through the woods to get at the point of contention. They're going to run right into the Confederates.
Right flank, sharp.
Charging with a bayonet, trying to find enemies to kill. Not a lot of them out here. And we've got a lot of Union at these guns, trying to stop the Confederates. 52nd New York, Captain Frank, came from the cornfield, decided to disrupt the Confederate artillery. Always finding a way to be useful on the battlefield. And here comes John J. Jones. Triple J.
Yep.
Leading the men toward the point of contention on the Hagerstown Turnpike. And the Confederates trying to make a push now for the Dunker Church. Union have a lot of men here, but the Confederates trying to do it the sneaky way through the woods. 20th Georgia. Jumbo always using his head.
Quick march.
And we'll go with them. He sees him now. Do the Union see him? So Jumbo doing a little peekaboo out of the woods.
On the major board.
Stick and move, stick and move. And they can conceal their whereabouts. That's the 8th Florida. It's going to be a hard group to take this away from. We're going to die soon. Oh. Well, and as you can see, Point C again neutralized by the Union. So this thing just keeps going back and forth and back and forth. We've got more Confederates in the area, so they'll be back at it soon. Northwest, they see him. Confederates firing at the pole, but that's not where they're standing. A great tactical move by the Alabama German Legion, and they can just shoot at the smoke. And there you go. The Union now have 2 points of contention. They want to get this back on their side. And the Georgia reloading their muskets. These guys shooting point blank at each other through the corn. And there they go with the bayonet. And they want to get that flag off that pole as quickly as possible. And currently the Union have no answer for it. Nobody over here. They are on point of contention B. So the Confederates again with 0 points of contention. The Union trying their best to get all 3, but the Confederates have now also captured the Dunker Church. So it looks like Captain Fritz was right, or they moved off or died 1, but the 3rd Alabama is here. And these points of contention just swapping over, back and forth, over and over and over again. He shows how qualified these units are. You see the Confederates trying to get rid of these pesky Union in their guns. And we're back even. 1 point of contention each, and the Union really trying to hold it on, trying to hold it in there, but under a lot of pressure from these Confederates. Another point of contention captured, meaning Confederates now have the advantage once again. They saw him behind him. A lot of Yankees. That is not something you want to be saying at this battle. I ain't gonna die today. Because as you can see, a lot of men did. And 20th Georgia getting hit from both sides. You hear the huzzah. Confederates are now engaged, but they got a full bar, and the Union almost down with 20 minutes left in this match. Not looking good for the boys in blue this time. But they pulled out a surprise win last time. Can they do it again? That Confederate wants to take that flag down. Old Dagwood. Can't find the string, buddy. Or there may be rules where you can't if there's only one person there. If that's the case, then well done by not breaking the rules. So Lamel Todd taking his group into the woods. There are Confederates in those trees. (18th North Carolina, one of the oldest units in the UEC, very disciplined. Able to sneak up on the Confederates. Pretty evenly matched, but you can see these Second Corps guys, they didn't waste any time with going in with the bayonet and clearing out Lamel Todd's group there. Now Todd may have got a few of them out. Yeah, he did. Look, heads up play, dude. I'm telling you, you can't get one over on these guys. Man, point of contention C is hot right now. Let's get over there as soon as we can. More Union coming in. This could spell doom for the Confederates. 8th Georgia, Alabama, German Legion. You see the Union now taking losses. 1850 in the match, and Confederates currently hold 2 points of contention. But here come the Union. And they're not expecting to run into the Yankees either, but here they are. (51st New York). Welcome to the UEC. Bathed in blood, but you can see point of contention C going down. They got a small band here at the flagpole. Jimmy Neutron's there. And the Confederates going back to support their men, ignoring the pole. Not a lot of guys there. Probably reinforcements trying to get back in. They're going to walk right into a hornet's nest. They're like, hey, wait a minute. Those aren't our boys. He could hear him talking. That's how great this game is. So realistic, man. Got saved by a heads-up play. They could hear them talking. They ain't talking now.
Marco. If there's any rebels in the car, give me a shout. It's not rebels.
It was rebels, but it isn't now. That's hilarious, man. Gotta love how these things play out. But the Union have taken advantage. Well, they had an advantage, but the Confederates taking point of contention B away from them again. 3rd Alabama. A lot of units had buck and ball that day. Oh my God. Another direct hit, 2 in a row. My God, but the flag guy's still there. Pop locks. Like, hey, it's a pretty good poll. But most everybody else was killed. 16 minutes left, and they have 2 points of contention back in their possession. Confederates not trying to allow the Union to get back up again like they did last game. At the same part of the battlefield, I might add, this part, Hagerstown Turnpike. So the Confederates have secured this side of the field. They're going to have to send some muscle over to the cornfield very soon. And this is historically accurate once again. Union attacking from this direction, Confederates holding from this side. Gotta love how these things play out. Imagine if we could get thousands of people on a server. Ooh. Because these regiments weren't as big as I originally thought. You know, as we're going through on the project, the animation project that I worked on, and I'm working on, a lot of these regiments had like 200-300 men in them. Some far less. Hampton's Legion had 77 guys. 57 of those were casualties. The Union now trying to take back point of contention B. They're going to use the German Corps to do it. This is also accurate. Hood's guys, when they were coming this way, had to turn left and face Patrick's men along with a couple regiments of Gibbons. They didn't come out and expose themselves this well. Union were back in near the ledge. They did their job. But the flag guy's running away. Can't get the flag on the pole if he's running. You see just a hail of bullets. They made it back. And the Union aggressive in the middle of the field here. Alabama, German Legion. Oh, they want the guns. I see Tim in amongst them. They got a plan. Chasing the Confederates, who are running back to the guns. Woo! You see the pressure wave, but didn't hit them. And they had to run all the way across the map to do it, but they've accomplished their goal to silence the Confederate guns, and they are silenced. And now they're pushing again. Here comes another regiment. 51st New York, Venom in the van. And the 56th said, no thank you, they are getting the hell out of there. Can't blame them. It's a lot of serpents. Once again, Confederates have 2 points of contention, and the Union's halfway to breaking. God, look at the bodies around this pole. Oh, Union trying to get him on the flank. Confederates too smart for that. Hop in the fence. Okay, Georgia gonna oh, Venom goes down. Flagman goes down. Accurate shooters, but a lot of Union coming here. Can they hold? I like how they got shoulder to shoulder and kind of broke out. That was nice. So can they? No, looks like they're going to take it. 51st New York. irresistible with the bayonet, and the Union coming in force. Captain Fritz, 8th Florida. John Satan going to put that flag up the pole if he can. But he's going to have his back to the Confederates. And if Tim gets access to those Confederate guns, he's going to really put a hurting on those Confederates back there in the open. Union looks like they're going to do it. They push the Confederates off. 20th Georgia just got too hot. They were just so exposed to all that fire from 2 or 3 regiments. Just could not stay. Smart move by Jumbo, keeping his men together. But they have now lost point of contention B, and this gives the Union an opportunity to claw their way out of this deficit that they've built. But they are also exposed in the open. However, the Confederates do not have artillery. And the Union still pushing even further into Confederate territory. Look at this. 52nd New York, 56th this year. You got a flag on the ground. Confederate gunners trying to get back to their guns, but just too many Union there. And the 4th Jersey going to see if they can't get those guns back for the Confederates. Cornfield is securely in the Union hands, and you can see they are pushing even further down the road. Down the Hagerstown Turnpike. Oh, wow, look at this. And they're going for point of contention A with the 51st New York. Venom in the van once again. They got their flank. Holte trying to take advantage. And the Confederates look confused and scattered as they scramble around the field. But Jumbo's got them in line now. They're going to go head-to-head with the 51st New York, who has cover. Jumbo does not. He's not going to let them stay there very long. Way too smart for that. You can see him trying to get his men back into a secure position. That takes away from the point of contention. More Confederates now engaging with the Union. Chasing them down with the bayonet. Oh, look at that ragdoll. See Satan just giving that fence hell with the butt of that musket. Just standing there talking shit now. He went to shoulder arms. I guess you can't kill the devil. Well, I guess you can. So Confederates encircling the point of contention, but not able to get it back as of yet. 7 minutes left in the match, and we're about to go breaking on the Union right now. What's left of the 51st New York here getting run into by the 3rd Alabama. They've got a flag with them. They want to get it to that pole, but they want to clear the area. And we've got Union forces going to make that hard on them, although they are starting to pull away. And there they go. They are breaking. 6:52 left in the match. The Union 3/4 of the way to defeat. But they do have 2 points of contention, and now they're going to get the Confederates taking losses here very shortly. And you see a Confederate force coming this direction. That's 8th Georgia. And with that, you hear taking losses on the Confederates. Union is breaking. 6 minutes left in the match. Union has a slight advantage right now, but they are down on morale. And the Confederates just pushing ever so slowly, gaining ground to try to get back that point of contention B. You see them firing and advancing, And these guys are just advancing. Jumbo, 20th Georgia, they want to get that flag back. Let's see if they can do it. They've got some help. And they've done it. They've taken point of contention B, so you're going to see that braking bar going down for the Union very quickly. 4 minutes left in the match. And you can see the Confederates have gotten their guns back as well. So it's all tipping toward the Rebels right now. Can the Union come back and win this thing? They did last time. It was very impressive. A lot of Confederates in this area. They're going to put a lot of pressure on these Union, try to keep them away from the point of contention. That's 8th Georgia. Ooh, chest level was a little low. They are higher.
Oh shit! We got caught in bushes.
And he said, oh shit, from the bushes. And they are going to try to get out of there with as many men as they can as the Union come flooding in. 8th Florida on the attack. And when these boys get their dander up, they're hard to stop. They might chase them all the way back to Richmond. Running just as fast as you are. And Fritz is running into the Confederate guns, so that's dangerous. And they know it. And with 2 flags, they're going to get a lot of reinforcements.
We'll go to the B and try to make the best out of it. Company, rise base.
So you hear him, he wants to go to point of contention B. A lot of Confederates there. He said he'll make the best of it, but he's going to have a lot of guns pointing right at him. They can see those Union out there, and he's trying to reposition to put himself in a great position. Try to get as much of that hill cover as he can. See a couple holes opening up there, but the Florida's going to fire back. And with the 8th Florida with their backs to those Confederate guns, that could turn into Yankee Jam real quick. That's a It's a deadly spot, but I don't know what other choice Fritz has. He has to do something. And you can see now, Confederates have taken point of contention C, or at least neutralized it, about to take it. And this is going to put us into a counterattack. They may not want to. They only have a minute 5 left in the match, and they're obviously winning. And you can see now, 8th Florida going to have to pull out of that spot. It's getting too hot with so many Confederate guns pointed at you. 55 seconds. Will they get it up the pole to win as the Confederates? Or will it put a 2-minute counter clock on and give the Union more time? There it is, 3 minutes more, so the Union actually have more time, but they are breaking faster, and now the Confederates are pushing into action. They have all 3 points of contention, and Jumbo is going to push all the way into the 8th Florida. th Georgia, what's left of the 8th Florida? This is going to be deadly. And more Confederates pouring in. You see Sergeant Patterson doing it with a sword. Last stand for the Union. Last stand. 2 minutes left in the match. Confederates with a demanding lead at this point. Can they hold on to it? In 2 minutes, this thing will be over. And I think, is it last stand where you don't get troops back? I can never remember. So a great comeback for the Confederates in this match. Union snuck out a victory in the last one with some just amazing play. Really looked great, and you can see the Confederates now pressing their advantage. 132 left in the match. They have all the points of contention right now, and they're secure. I don't see any Union around most of them. Maybe some trying to get into the corn right now. You can see that pushing forward, but the Confederates coming after the Union guns who have brutalized them all day. Trying to kill all the Union they can. I don't think they get reinforcements anymore. And with 1 minute left, I think it's safe to call it for the Confederates. You see the Union trying to make a push here, hitting a band of Confederates in the corn.
That's
51st New York. 27 seconds left, and this thing is just about over. I don't think the Union has a chance to win this one. Jumbo coming over to avenge the Confederates. Will they sneak up on them? Oh, man, that ragdoll. And that's about it, folks. A great match and a dominating performance by the Confederates. A fun weekend, and this one's over. Congratulations, CSA. Well done. All right, guys. Well, I hope you liked that. If you did, make sure to subscribe, hit the like buttons. Appreciate you being here. Try to get back on schedule so I can be here every weekend. Hope everybody has a great rest of their weekend, and let's see if anybody is on. We can raid. Where's my mouse here? Where's my mouse button at, man? There it is. You guys want to raid somebody? Oh, man, nobody's streaming that I'm following. I got to go follow some more people. I know a lot of people that stream this game. They could use the raids, but no one's there. So, guys, thank you for being here, and I'll catch you next weekend. See ya.